Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a weekly gaming news show, the gaming podcast, where two seasoned console video game players talk about the weekly news and everything that is gaming. We are your hosts. My name is Trenell, aka True Sonic, and I'm here as always with the homeboy Todd, but we like to call him Up Jump the Boogie. What's going on, homie?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Everything's fine, man. Had a pretty relaxing weekend, MLK weekend, for all of you that are, off tomorrow, for MLK Day, salute to that. Have a good time, get, well rested. I plan on catching up on some games tomorrow. What about you?
I don't know. I'm going to try. I didn't get tickets early enough, so I'm going to try to go to the African American History Museum again.
Okay.
But I have to get up super early. Like at the same day tickets start at 6:30, so I'm gonna get up at like 6:15 and start mashing that refresh button. Hopefully, I can get a few tickets so we can go down there. I mean, if not, my daughter wants to go down there. Last year we went to the MLK, went to the monument and walked around downtown. She wants to do it again, so we'll do that.
Up. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Go ahead and celebrate that Black history on the blackest day possible tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We got the chat live. We are live broadcasting on we're on Twitch, we're on Mixer, we're on YouTube, and we are on Facebook. So shouts out to everybody that's out in the chat. I want to give a few shots out real quick. We got 10 bits from Ruby Rose. Thank you for the bits over on Twitch, and then also a follow on Twitch from Windora 7. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. Maury Jin is up in the chat as well. And one of our sponsors, Maury Jin, always in the house. Make sure you guys ask your questions during for the live Q&A segment. Use the hashtag in chat, AskAWGNS, and we will answer your guys' questions live during the broadcast. Let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot to talk about today, but before we get into that, we have our patented weekly icebreaker. Is it patented? I'm pretty sure other people use weekly icebreaker.
Well,
I don't know. I haven't heard it anywhere else, but
it is our
it is ours. Our
AWGNS's weekly icebreaker. Patent pending.
Patent pending. Yeah, pending. Okay, and we're gonna start things off with the icebreaker, and this is an easy one. We've done this one a few times before. It is, what are you playing? And I believe this is volume 6. I'm going to go with 6 because I think the last 2 times I said it was volume 5. So volume 6 of what are you playing? Boogie, why don't you go first? What are you currently playing? Currently,
I'm playing the 3 games I'm playing the most, of course, is Destiny. I know I've got on this and I've derided Destiny and such, but I still play it because it's still fairly fun. Not nearly as much. And
a lot of controversy going on with that game right now.
Tons of controversy. And what I'm finding out, I've been trying to, because I took a while off where I really wasn't touching it. So I missed some of the newer, like the Prestige Raid, the Prestige Raid and the Eater of Worlds, the mini raid. And for the life of you, I can't find a competent group to raid with anymore.
Damn,
it's horrible. But yeah, I'm playing that. I've gotten into PUBG. I'm really enjoying that. It's fun. It's just the thrill of the hunt. I mean, there's nothing, doesn't do anything spectacular, right. But it's just the thrill of the hunt. It makes it that much. That's what makes it fun.
Right. It's just the most functional version of this type of game. So everybody's loving it.
Right. And then I've been messing with Assassin's Creed Rogue. I mean, not Rogue. Assassin's Creed Origins.
I was like, oh shit, the early access boys.
Right. And it's something. The more I play, something I kind of is bothering me a bit. I don't feel as nimble in this one. He feels a little bit more brutish and not as fast, not as nimble as some of the other games.
I can feel you on that one, especially depending on your weapon type. There's a lot of different weapon types. I ended up going with some of the more nimble weapon types so that I can like seem a little bit faster. Like when you're swinging those like broadswords and the spear.
That
like
big axe. I'm using a giant halberd.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you want to feel a little faster, I recommend going with the dual sabers or the dual swords. That's a really good weapon class. I've already beaten Assassin's Creed Origins, so I know what you're talking about. But yeah, that's an awesome game and an awesome list of games that you're playing right now. Me, on the other hand, I honestly haven't been playing that much lately. I've been live streaming a lot over on YouTube and Twitch, and I've been playing a lot of Smash Brothers with my followers. So I've been doing quite a bit of that. Outside of that, I've actually gone back to Assassin's Creed Syndicate because I want to finish that. A lot of busy work with that game is what I'm learning. Like,
Yeah.
it's I really like what they did with Origins because they kind of cut out that busy work. And even when you are like, just traveling the map, just trying to find missions, it doesn't seem like busy work because it's actually fun in Origins. And in Syndicate it's not that fun to just like go to the different areas in the map and then you have to like take over different towns and like collect all the collectibles. It seems like busy work because most of it is required in order for you to get some of the like loot and items for like weapon upgrades and all that. So I'm not having the best time, but it is something that I want to finish. Honestly, I haven't been playing much of anything else. Honestly, I've kind of just been trying to catch up on some games while live streaming. For my followers. So that's been about it for me. What about you guys? Let us know down in the comments section or in the live chat what games you've been playing. And maybe in our next episode we can list some of the games that people have been playing. Like that's something that we can do. Because I'm going in my Steam. I'm looking at my recent folder. Like I haven't been playing anything, dude. I haven't been playing shit. I've actually been quite kind of busy. Just a lot of running around lately. So.
Yeah. It's that holiday leftover stuff, right?
Yeah, leftover holiday stuff. Had to take down the trees and all that.
Yep.
Finally get that out of there. But let us know what you guys are playing. And that is our weekly icebreaker. We do this every week. So if you guys want to ask us a question, oh shit, I forgot to mention, I've been trying to play the Dragon Ball Fighter Z beta.
Oh yeah,
and it hasn't been working. It has not been working.
I tried it today
all.
too. I tried it like maybe about when I was talking with you. I probably tried for about a good 35-40 minutes to get on and nothing. So I just took a nap.
Yeah, this is the open beta. I didn't have early access to the open beta, which was way more functional. But if you pre-ordered it on the console, like either Xbox or PlayStation 4, you got a day, like 24-hour early access to it. And according to people that I've been watching, that was functional. Right now, I've maybe gotten about 10 minutes total of like gameplay time against other people.
The furthest I got was to a loading screen, like it was loading me into a match, and then it told me I disconnected. And
I've been trying to get out on both platforms. I downloaded the open beta on Xbox and PlayStation 4. I've had a lot more luck on Xbox. PlayStation 4, I can't even log on to a server. I can't even get into a server. It's that bad. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait for that one to come out. But that's the weekly icebreaker. Again, if you want to ask us a question, you can hit us up on Twitter. We are at AWGamingNS. Just use the hashtag weekly icebreaker or ask AWGNS, and we'll answer you guys' questions live on the stream. With that said, we can go ahead and get into the next segment. We got a few updates from previous stories that we covered in the past. So, Boogie, I'm going to let you go ahead and take this one. What are some of the updates?
Okay. The first update we have is with PUBG. And we talked about, I think, was it last week or may have been the week before, but we talked about PUBG getting 2 million players on Xbox in like something like 48 hours or first 7 days. So that number has been updated to before the end of 2017, there were 3 million people, 3 million unique Xbox One players that have tried Players Unknown on Battlegrounds. That's 3 million players in less than 20 days. I mean, that's a lot of people playing that game.
That's a lot of people on the supposed inferior version of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, it was bound to happen because there's millions and there's tons of people that have consoles that don't want to play on PC for whatever reason.
I mean, keyboard and mouse. That's my reason.
Right. Right. And when they they made this accessible to that group. I mean, I know people, Xbox hasn't sold like PlayStation, but it's sold, close to 40 million. There's close to 40 million Xboxes out there. That's that's a large segment of players out there. So, about close to 10% of Xbox One players have at least tried PlayerUnknown's Battleground. Anytime I get on there, I have no problem with a full room. I've never ran into an issue where there's been a full room, and yeah, it's just still rolling downhill.
Yeah. We need to get on that, man. I've been trying to like play more of it, but I do feel like a lot of the optimization issues do not occur on the Xbox One X version. That seems to be like the most fluid version of it. I do experience quite a bit of issues on the OG Xbox One version of it,
and that's just because it's just because the One X is a more powerful machine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they definitely. I mean, they've been updating this game like crazy, so I expect it to get better.
It's gotten 2 patches within the past week. Past 7 days, it's been patched twice. So, I mean, it's early access. Is essentially a beta. They're constantly patching it. The way they're working with it, the way they worked with the PC version, they constantly patch it and constantly fix it until they just came out of pre-release beta this December with the 1.0 on PC.
Yeah.
So, and Microsoft is throwing money on it. They got a team working with Bluehole.
That's a bad name, Bluehole. I think that's a terrible name for your company.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
They have people work with Bluehole to optimize it for the Xbox One. So they'll get it right. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get it right. And until they do, the game is still fun in its own right.
And it's playable. Yeah.
And it's fully playable. Right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story. What we got?
Assassin's Creed Rogue. We talked about this. It was rumored. I think it was somebody slipped up and posted on their website.
It was. I can't remember the website.
It's a German website. It was a European website. I forget which one it was, but it's real. Ubisoft announced it is actually coming in March, in less than 2 months, March 20th, if I'm not mistaken. But it is coming in March. Assassin's Creed Rogue, March 20th. Assassin's Creed Rogue is getting a full update. So it's going to be full 1080p on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and it's also going to support the ultra high res graphics available on the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. It's going to come with all of the DLC plus 2 new missions. Pricing hasn't been announced. Based on what they're saying, I'm expecting to be $60.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're getting the game and all of the DLC, which would have been in the season pass, is not outrageously priced. I still would like to see stuff like this at no more than $40, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming out in March.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a game that probably flew under a lot of people's radar. Like we said last time, Assassin's Creed Rogue and Assassin's Creed Unity came out at the exact same time. One for the 360 only, and one for the Xbox or the 360 PS3, and then one for the Xbox One PS4.
Right.
And so while a lot of people had jumped ship to the newer hardware, that meant that they had to jump ship to the newer game on that hardware in the Assassin's Creed franchise. So that's the reason I missed out on it. So
same here.
I may pick it up. I'm not sure if I'm really willing to go to a previous style of Assassin's Creed game, especially after playing Syndicate.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Syndicate.
Well, yeah. After beating Origin and then playing Syndicate, I don't know if I want to go back and experience what I feel is inferior style of Assassin's Creed game at this point. Go ahead.
I'm super interested just because of the story. The story is one of the assassins defects, right? He defects and becomes a Templar. I would like to see it because Templars are evil, but there's 2 sides to every story, right?
Definitely.
It'd be kind of cool to play from the other end, to see their motivations and how they see the assassins and their plans for whatever their victory or whatever their plans
are. Plus this game takes a lot of influences from Black Flag, so it has the ship battle. So that might right there might be a reason to go ahead and get it. It has ship battles.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so let's go ahead. We have one more update, and then we can move on. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and jump us into that one?
Okay, so we talked about this. This happened at the end of the year, last year. It's the SWAT incident where these two knuckleheads playing Call of Duty. One of them swatted an address, which happened to be the address of somebody unrelated, and it ended in the gentleman, the guy answering the door, getting shot by the police.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the perpetrator, Swatastic, he's the one who actually called in the SWAT call. He was arrested in LA shortly after and extradited to Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, where this incident took place. And he has been arraigned and charged with involuntary manslaughter,
Good, man.
felony, giving false alarm and interference with a law enforcement officer. The giving false alarm and interference with a law enforcement officer, from what I was reading, they're based on the other charges associated with it. So in this case, these two will also be felonies. They can be misdemeanors if the main charge is a misdemeanor, but because the main charge is a felony, these are going to be charged also as a felony. If he's found guilty of all charges, he can be sentenced for more than 5 years in prison and more than $300,000 in fines.
I mean, I feel like he should get like max penalty on this one, dude. Like, there's no reason to go easy on someone like this, especially if they've done stuff like this in the past. He's bragged about
he's
doing this kind of stuff in the past. He does it for money.
He's done it for money. I think because he's a repeat offender, he definitely should be prosecuted to the fullest extent. As we used to say back in hood, he needs to be hung, right? Yeah. So I mean, throw the book at him. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't really have much. The only other thing I want to say is the second party, the one that gave out the address, he's just as culpable because he gave out a false address. I mean, obviously he didn't know somebody was going to get shot, but still, if somebody's
I feel like
there
should be some kind of consequence for that.
Absolutely,
because his issue was with the one guy, and he gave it somebody else's address, which resulted in a death.
Right.
Something has to give. Like, you know, I don't know what it would take or like what punishment fits that kind of crime.
I think he should get the same charges. Involuntary manslaughter.
Hey man.
Maybe not the false alarm and interference with a law officer, not necessarily because he didn't make the call to call in the police,
right.
But involuntary manslaughter because his actions led to somebody being killed. I mean, it wasn't just Tyler Barris's actions of calling in SWAT. He was given an address to send them to. So between those two, they both should be, in my mind, should be held accountable for the actions. He shouldn't get off scot-free either.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that 100%. And that is our updates and corrections. We try to give the news, as is, but sometimes there are updates and corrections. If you catch us slipping at any given time, make sure that you let us know on our social media, either on Twitter or on Facebook. That way we can address it in the next episode if need be. But with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment, and that is going to be our quick hits. These are short lightning round stories. More like a hit it and quit it type story. We ain't gonna spend too much time on these, but these are short stories that we want to address with you guys that are important to us, and hopefully they are important to you as well. So let's go ahead and get into that. The first one that we have is coming from Microsoft. The closed beta for Sea of Thieves will be going on this month, January, between the 24th and the 29th. January is becoming the month of the beta because we have the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta, the Dissidia beta is going on. We have Sea of Thieves, and I believe there's one more that I'm forgetting about, but there's been lots and lots of betas this month, and this one is just adding to the collection. Sea of Thieves, if you guys do not remember, is the first party game coming from the developer Rareware of previous like Donkey Kong Country fame and Killer Instinct. This will be their first game with Microsoft, I believe. Oh, no, it's not the first. It's the first game in a while with Microsoft isn't Kinect based.
Yeah, because they have been working on Kinect games and they were doing avatars. Microsoft bought Rare, and the first thing they put them on was the avatar stuff.
Yeah.
And then after that, they gave them some of the Connect games, and they really haven't been able to go out and do anything that's exciting
Yeah.
or unique like they have been doing. So I think it's cool that they're getting this, and I think they're really excited. And they want to make a good game. They want people to remember that they are rare and they do make good games.
Yeah, they make good games, and hopefully we get to see that in the upcoming release. I mean, I'm really excited about it just because I want to see what this team is capable of. After being dormant for so many years, they've been stuck in this hole for a long time, and a lot of the all-star talent has left. As you guys know, a lot of those guys got back together and formed Platonic Games, which created the ukulele game that was crowdfunded. But it would be really good. I think it would be good for gaming if Rare came out with a game and it was a hit. So I'm rooting for this game. It seems fun. I already went ahead and signed up for the beta. Hopefully I get an invite. And if I do, then you guys may see a return of my ill-fated series, my first impressions. I'll definitely I'll have some words for it if I can get my hands on it.
Right.
But yeah, that's that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was just gonna this is a closed beta, so you had to have signed up back in December, right?
Is it too late for me to sign up?
Yeah, you had to have signed up by December 1st, and you would.
I signed up a while ago. Yeah.
If you signed up before December 1st, and there's something else. No, I think that's it. You just had to have signed up by December 1st. That's it. And if you haven't signed up if you didn't sign up by December 1st, you have no chance. But if you did, you have a chance to get that download code and jump in. I think this should be going out within the next week or so.
Yeah, so hopefully I get the invite. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I definitely want to play this. All right, so Sea of Thieves, that's the first one that we have. The next one, what we got?
The next quick hit we have is this is a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
There's a fan remake of Kid Icarus. And what these guys did is they took Kid Icarus, the original game for the old Nintendo back in the 80s, and reimagined it as a 3D platformer. It's the first level. I think there's the first level. There's 4 arenas. There's 2 different enemy types, and it's about 10 to 20 minutes of gameplay. It's basically like an extended demo, maybe even just a proof of concept. I hated Kid Icarus back in the 80s. I did have that game on Nintendo. I hated it. This 3D version, I did download it and I installed it. I didn't play it, but it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I have never really been a fan of Kid Icarus. The original NES game was a little bit before my time, so it wasn't something that I really got into. But I did get into the more recent release, the Kid Icarus Uprising, which is a game that came out on the 3DS and gave me instant carpal tunnel.
That was That was even the last Kid Icarus game, if I recall, right?
Yeah, that was the last one, and that one came out after the success of Smash Brothers Brawl, which reintroduced Kid Icarus to the mainstream. He had been missing for quite some time, and so. Then we finally got to see him again in his own game. This is cool. Apparently there had been some other Kid Icarus games like in the works that had gotten canceled. But yeah, this is a fan-made game, and just like all other fan-made games with Nintendo properties, it's only a matter of time until they get the cease and desist. So it's like a ticking clock. If you want to get it,
go get it now.
Go get it now, because there's no telling when it will be gone. There's absolutely no telling.
Yeah, it will be gone at some point. It's just when. It's not a question of will, it's when. Nintendo is notoriously protective of their IP, whether they're using it or not. And this is one of their IP, and this is actually an IP that Nintendo's known, even though it's only had 4 games total, 3 or 4 games. It's still a IP that is known as a Nintendo IP, and people have a lot of feelings for Kid Icarus.
So it's not something that I was super involved with or aware of, but I mean, it has a following, and I've been reading the comments on people that have like watched the proof of concept videos and played it and everything. Everybody seems to enjoy it. It seems like something that Nintendo probably should do. But
I think I think that's their whole idea. Say, hey, Nintendo, look, we made this. People are excited about it. Now you should make a real Kid Icarus game for the Switch, probably, because that's everybody wants stuff on the Switch now.
Yeah. So, everybody wants everything on the Switch. Yeah. We're gonna be talking about that later. So yeah, that was our quick hits. Oh no, we have one more. We have one more. My bad. I'm jumping the gun. My bad. Go ahead.
Okay. So we got notorious League of Legends player Tyler 1, who had been banned from the game since 2016 because he is and I quote, this is from Riot Games, he's genuinely a jerk.
Yeah. Jerk.
So I mean, he used to do stuff like people would lock out his character. I forget which character it is. I don't know, but they would lock out his character. So he would pick another character and purposely throw the game. He was like vulgar, insulting in chat and such. And they basically gave him a ban. He claims to be reformed, and they unbanned him. The only reason I brought this up and bringing this up is because Monday was his return.
Yeah.
And when he returned, he broke the strict concurrent stream view record. He had over 378,000 people watching his stream.
Yeah.
I mean, the Games Done Quick was going on, and
that was crazy.
He had more people watching him play League of Legends than there were people watching the speed run. So, his 2-year battle with Riot and his quote unquote haters have paid off for him, because on top of having that many concurrent streamers, his subs went up astronomically. Yeah. So, I think this is an example of bad behavior being rewarded, because I don't see any reason for him to get it. I mean, he's a curiosity. It'd be interesting to see if he can keep his temper in check. Yeah. Apparently during the stream, people started immediately trolling him by locking him out of his character. But he seemed to take it in stride and play other characters and actually play the game. So, I mean, that's just the first day. It's a lot of days.
Yeah, we have much more to come with this guy. And I do agree with you that this is kind of like them. He's being rewarded for his bad behavior. Right. He was banned for his negligence and misbehavior, and now that he's returned, he's gotten more viewers, more subs, and ultimately more money.
Right.
He's become the controversy of the scene, and everybody loves to root for the bad guy. So this guy, he's if he can keep his ego and his attitude and everything, if he can keep that in check, he can cash out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was our quick hits. If you have any stories that you would like to submit to us, you can do so using our social media. We're on Facebook and we're on Twitter. Just send us a link to the story that you would like us to talk about, and it will most likely be added to the quick hits if it hasn't been if we haven't already added it ourselves. Again, we are on Twitter at AWGamingNS, and we're on Facebook, A Weekly Gaming News Show, or you can just use the call letters AWGNS. And just send us any stories that you would like us to talk about involving gaming, because we don't pride ourselves in being like the first ones to report or anything like that. It's all about, getting the news, digesting it, and then we give our opinion. This is a podcast where we just give our opinion. So let us know what stories you would like us to talk about, and we'll have them added into our quick hits section if need be. With that said, let's go ahead and move on to our next segment, which is going to be the top 5 news stories for this week. But before we do that, I would like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, the New Challenger Discord. If you would like to get good at your very favorite fighting game, click the wrong button. Go over to newchallenger.gg. These guys specialize in one-on-one coaching and group coaching as well. They hold weekly and bi-weekly tournaments, and they have fight nights where you can just gather and play together with other fighting game enthusiasts. They are currently supporting Injustice 2, Street Fighter 5, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Tekken 7, and will be supporting the very close to release Dragon Ball Fighter Z I am attempting to make myself known in that Discord channel, trying to just like get myself back into the community a bit. I fell off after I've retired from Street Fighter 5. But yeah, go over to newchallenger.gg, join the Discord server, and say what's up. Let them know that True Sonic sent you. And big shout out to Mr. Vinegar, who is the founder of the Discord channel. And as always, a huge shout out to Mount Lover, who is a friend of the podcast and also a commentator, a moderator, and a coach over on the New Challenger Discord. Shout out to those guys. Thank y'all for supporting and sponsoring this podcast. We appreciate you. And yeah, let's go ahead and move into the top 5 stories. We got a lot to talk about today. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. What do we have first?
First, we're going to start off with some news out of Microsoft. I found this news pretty interesting. Microsoft has got a couple of things. The first thing is they're looking to add a new quote-unquote pro gamer score to your Xbox Live account. As it stands now, anybody who's played on Xbox, and even if you played on PlayStation, the trophy and achievement system is really geared towards people that play a lot of games and play those games to completion.
Yeah.
This new pro gamer score system will be more geared towards players that play 1 or 2 games religiously. So maybe they're Halo 5, or look at your Overwatch pros, or people that's all in on Call of Duty or Destiny.
Yeah, or PUBG.
This guy, or PUBG. It'll reward you based on in-game levels and progression and skill. And apparently they may be adding loot boxes to the reward. So when you level up or you get an achievement on this new gamer score system, you will get an cosmetic loot box
for the new avatars.
It didn't say. I'm thinking it's for the new avatars. They didn't actually mention it, or did you see it?
Well, I had actually seen that somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah. It's most likely, or I think it said it's most likely going to be for
the avatars.
Yeah. Because they're supposed to be dropping that new avatar
coming soon. Yeah,
it's really soon.
The refresh, right?
Yeah, so I think the pro gamer score and the loot box is going to coincide with that.
Might drop with it. Yeah, that would make sense. And this is something that's been a long time coming, because a couple months ago, Mike Ibarra, he actually gave an interview and he was talking about this type of system. He indicated that they were looking to recognize players that have low gamer scores because they only play a few games.
Yeah.
So
I remember back in the day, dude. There was like achievement hunters, man. I was out there grinding for achievements. That's last gen. Dude.
That's still a thing, and there's websites that tell you what games to go play to get the quickest maximum full achievement score level and all that stuff. And again, they do the same thing for PlayStation.
Yeah, with the trophy system.
Yeah, but I like this because at the end of the day, there are people, and I'm one of them, that just play a few games a year. I might, I have 1 or 2 games that I play religiously. Last year was Destiny and Overwatch. Right now is Overwatch. I mean, not Overwatch, Destiny and PUBG. But I feel like I'm missing out because I'm not playing every game that comes out.
Right.
To completion even. I mean, I might try games, and if I don't like them, I'll put them down.
Yeah.
I won't force myself to play something for achievement points.
Right. Same here. I played through the main story, or like the majority of the game with Assassin's Creed Origins. I do not really have like the motivation to go out and hunt for the achievements.
Right.
I haven't really even been paying attention to them, honestly. But I feel like the pro gamer score is, can be beneficial, especially if it doesn't cost anything. One thing that I also read about the loot box system is that you will not be able to purchase those loot boxes with actual money. Like, those loot box rewards will come specifically from your gamer score, or the pro gamer score. However, that's going to work out in the future. With everything that's going on with loot boxes. And with everybody trying to monetize everything when it comes to gaming, I really feel like that would be the wrong move for Microsoft. Because because it's purely cosmetic doesn't mean that it's okay. We've learned that over time.
Microsoft has been selling. They've been selling avatar items for years.
Yeah, they have.
when the first Rare Avatars came out, they were selling items. I don't think. Actually, I'm pretty sure I did buy. I bought a hat and a camera. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did. It's like $1 or $2. But again,
but see, my thing is, it's like when you randomize it, that's the problem.
Oh, the randomization, that would be a problem, yeah. But if it's randomized from my achievement, I don't care as long as I can actually. It's like if I'm buying something, as long as I can select the item I'm buying, yeah. Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I got it.
So that's why I'm saying like the loot boxes themselves, which are random, will not be you won't be able to purchase those with actual cash. You have to earn those, and they're random. But if just like previous, if you want to buy stuff, like that's all up to you. Yeah. So, going forward. So that's it from Microsoft. Did you talk about the other new features?
Yeah, the new features. So, Xbox Insiders, the Alpha Ring. I actually got this. There's a couple of updates, and one of the things that's in the update is a do not disturb. So you, instead of hiding offline, instead of putting you offline, you just put on do not disturb, and people can send you messages and whatever, but you just won't get them. There won't be any notifications. It's just like when you put your smartphone on do not disturb, people can call and they can text all they want. It's just going into nowhere, and when you take that off, you'll see them. So that's cool. The thing that I'm more excited about is the mini game hubs that shows up in the guide. I use the game hub. If you're unfamiliar, when you hit the guide button, when you hit the guide button, it pops up the guide. If you got games in there, when you go in the game, there's also another second menu just to the right. When you click on that, it takes you to the hub. It tells you stuff about the game and show you people who are playing the game. I use it a lot, especially for Destiny 2 for LFG, because it has the LFG built into it. But now it's right in the guide, and you can quick access certain features. I think that's cool, instead of having to go in and go 2 or 3 screens. Then go to the
next tab over.
Right, while you're in the game. I think that's a really good feature. So that's cool. I like these features. These are some, the alpha. This is actually stuff that people have been asking for. If you go into the forums in the alpha ring, these are some of the things that were like way on top of the list. Especially since they added LFG, the being able to access it through the guide was something that was way high on the list. Right. So it's cool that they're listening to the users and implementing these things.
Nice. Is there any release date or window for this to come out for everybody else?
For everybody else, no. It usually takes about 2 to 6 weeks.
Okay. So expect it. It's available in the alpha ring. If you're there, you already have access to it. But in a couple of months, everybody will have their hands on some pretty neat features over on Xbox One, and can't really complain about that. Nope. That's it for Microsoft at the moment. I think that's it for Microsoft.
That's it for Microsoft.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next story. And this one is a doozy. This is a doozy. A lot of freaking money changing hands over here. So go ahead and switch over, because it looks like Twitch has just landed a 2-year deal to broadcast the Overwatch League, and exclusive rights over on Twitch. And man,
so if you want to watch over an Overwatch League, the league actually started this Monday. Was the first day of the Overwatch League. I watched a couple. 10th. I watched a couple of matches. I mean, to be quite honest, these guys were making some good plays, but it was less interesting to me than watching random people stream it.
Wow,
because it's so tactical and so technical. It's like borderlines on boring.
Right, it's like there's no way that you guys are having fun playing like this.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so they didn't say. I don't see a number. I didn't see a number, but Twitch paid quite a bit of money to.
Oh, I'm sure they paid a pretty penny. It doesn't say here in the article how much they paid.
Yeah, to secure these rights. But Blizzard is all in on the Overwatch League, and as we know, I think the franchise fee was something like $20 million per franchise. So Twitch landing these rights is they had to come out of pocket pretty good. And to be quite honest, Twitch have been gearing up for this for the past year, because they actually added in the Twitch stream where you can, when you search on Overwatch, you can search by specific character. So if you want to watch somebody playing Doomfist, you can watch somebody playing Doomfist. If there's a stream, if you can actually go Overwatch, there's like a drop down. You select the character you want to see play, and you pick that, and you can watch that character play. Which is that's actually cool, especially if you're just somebody that's trying to learn some of the intricacies of some of these characters, because some of them can get quite complicated, and there's a lot of little things you can learn to tweak your gameplay and get better. But yeah, so if I was expecting Blizzard to try to work with a network to try to get this on, maybe ESPN or like TNT.
Right.
They seem to be big at the Turner Sports, so TNT, TBS, those channels. Maybe even Fox Sports. They've done some stuff too, but for Twitch to land it is really interesting.
Yeah. I mean it's the, like, one of the go-to places for esports right now. So. Right. I don't know. I think if they would have gone with anybody else, especially like a TV network, they may have run into some risks that they probably didn't want to run into. Plus, you could be a little less PC on the internet, you know, in comparison to like a live broadcasting on TBS or whatever. Right. This is most likely just like the safe option, but Twitch probably coughed up a pretty penny.
Oh yeah, for sure, without question.
All right, what's next? We got mad news for you guys. What we got? Okay. Oh God,
news from our favorite creeps. So EA patented an online matchmaking system, similar to what Activision was doing. This particular system is going to well, there's two actually. They patented two systems. One is for like single player or campaign type play, where it will automatically adjust the difficulty to keep you engaged. So if you're playing a game, say you're playing, I don't know, name Anthem, and you can't get past the boss, it might lower the difficulty a little bit for you so you can actually beat the boss. Because you get frustrated, you put the game down. Sometimes people never go back to it. Right. They want you to keep playing their game. So so they're going to scale the difficulty level to make the game a little easier. Or if it's too easy for you, you're just blowing through it, they might ramp it up a little bit just to make it seem a bit challenging. And that's fine. There's no problem with that, I don't think.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of like being in control of my difficulty setting, especially when it comes to making things easier. Right. If I'm having a challenge with a certain segment in the game, it's more, for me, it's more about learning how to overcome that.
Instead of making it easier,
instead of just like artificially making it easier. I mean, some games will give you the option. One of the ones that are notable for it are, like the Mario games, like the 3D and 2D Mario games. If you died like 5 or 6 times in a given stage, the game will tell you, hey, here's easy mode. Would you like to activate it? And then you have the opportunity to do so. I cannot get down with a game just like monitoring how I play and then adjusting the
level for
the level difficulty, to ensure that I'm having like a balanced experience. Like let me decide what I want to do. Don't do it for me.
I'm in that same camp as you. I wouldn't mind this. Like you said, if I'm forced to play the game that way, I will have a problem with it. Because sometimes I want to play on the hardest level. I want to challenge. Like you said, I want to figure out how the best way to beat it, right? But if this was an option, so there's easy mode, medium, hard, and then dynamic. So in the dynamic mode is this mode that changes it based on if it's selectable and I have the option to select it, I'm not forced to play it. I'm definitely okay with it. I'm like you said, it's a little bit shady, but at the end of the day, it's not that bad. The one that's horrible is the second one they got is the EA patent for multiplayer video game matchmaking optimization. Basically, what they're going to do. It's going to take several factors into account and match you up with players. And some of the factors that go into the algorithm are from interaction, play style, sportsmanship, skill, and the worst one, willingness to spend money.
Right.
And when you think about that, he's like, oh, okay, you got all those factors. It's not that big a deal. But when you look at EA's research paper into this, they have the ability to change the objective of the algorithm. So they can specifically cater the algorithm to match you up in a manner that's going to make you want to spend money. If they say, okay, this guy, he bought the collector's edition, he's bought $30 worth of loot boxes, let's stick him in a bunch of matches with people with high-end stuff that he's going to want to spend money to buy.
Right.
That type of thing, that's nefarious. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and what initially, like when you go through the paper, you like because I haven't read the whole thing, but I did like read some, or I did watch some videos and with some people like explained it. A lot of this just, has to deal with like player retention. Like they want you to keep playing the game.
Right.
And like these are a multitude of different ways that they can do so. So like if you're getting wrecked, you lose like 5 matches, they'll put you in a pool with people that are below your supposed skill level, based on like how you've been playing.
Right.
So they want you to keep playing, but yeah, like you said, the most nefarious part of this entire option is,
the willingness to spend money. Like
the willingness to spend money. That's crazy.
Right. So if you're matching me up, if I'm playing a game, if I'm playing Battlefront 2, right? That's their most recent multiplayer shooter, right? If I'm playing Battlefront 2 and I'm getting wrecked, and the algorithm says, okay, this guy is getting wrecked, he's probably going to stop playing if he doesn't win soon. So let's stick him in with a group that he can dominate or even, win some games with. Yeah. I'm okay with that. If it says, okay, this guy is a bad sport, he gets into shouting matches, or when he appears to be losing, he just starts running around doing killing himself or team killing, whatever. Let's put him in with a bunch of players like that, so he can get his comeuppance. Yeah. But when you say, okay, this guy bought the collector's edition and he's spent money on loot boxes already, and because we're EA, we made you sign up for an Origin account, we can see all your other EA purchases, and you buy a lot of games and you buy a lot of add-ons. Mm-hmm. Let's keep putting you in matches where there's people that have add-ons you don't have, that's going to get you to spend money. And the fact that they can cater the algorithm to one of these particular factors is horrible, because which one is going to be the one that's on the most? Make people spend money.
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately what they want to do.
Right.
So I mean it goes to show you, like, if they have the opportunity or if they have the technology to do that, like what makes you think, especially at this point in time, that that's not what they're going to do.
Right.
They have this research paper padded out with so much other, bullshit, but ultimately their goal is to make more money. So of course that check mark in the algorithm is going to be, checked at all times. I don't foresee a situation where they're not trying to put you in a situation where you're going to want to spend money.
No. Exactly. They're gonna want the money. They want all the money, and they're gonna do whatever they can to get the money. And this matchmaking system is just one way they feel that they can squeeze people, squeeze that orange.
Yeah. Quick shout out to DevNull44 for the follow over on Twitch. Appreciate you, homie. Thank you for that. And I think we can go ahead and move on to the next story. With that being said, EA. I don't know what it's going to take for these guys to learn. I mean, you would think they would have learned, but I mean, they implemented the same kind of progression system in the UFC game during that beta session. I don't know. I
just think they don't care. Yeah. They don't care.
Yeah,
they're gonna do what they want to do.
They can't care, based on what we're seeing from them. It can't be that they care about gamers and that they want gamers to, appreciate their time playing games. That can't be it.
Nope.
But next up, we have our Nintendo Direct Mini recap. And there was a lot that was said during this Mini, but none of it meant anything. And that has been my problem with the Nintendo Direct for quite some time. They schedule this time frame. It's like, oh, we're gonna go live at this time, blah blah blah, and then they have absolutely nothing to talk about. There's
Right.
like, honestly, if I'm going to be truly honest, out of the entire 15-minute session, there's probably only 2, maybe 3 announcements that meant anything to me. But we're gonna go through them here, so buckle up. So first off, they showed a re-release, and this is the name of the game. Re-release from a game that came out on DS is coming out for the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be available later on in the year. It's a Square Enix game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The Square Enix game. I can't remember. It was like The World Ends With You or something like that.
Yeah, the world ends with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard a lot about this game, especially when it came out. A lot of people were really excited about it. But yeah, The World Ends With You Final Mix will be coming out later this year for the Nintendo Switch. So anybody that hasn't played it, and I actually heard this one was pretty enjoyable. And they are actually adding, I think, like 2 new story sections to the game, so you're actually getting more content. So that's actually pretty cool. That game is going to be coming out later on in the year. Next up, we got the Pokken Tournament DX Battle Pack, which is going to be releasing. It's DLC, and it's going to be releasing in 2 waves. The first wave is going to be available January 31st, with the second wave being available March 23rd. And it includes 2 new Pokemon, new skins for your trainer avatar character, and some new, like, I can't remember what they're called, like assist Pokemon or whatever. Yeah, some new assist Pokemon. Boogie, you're just trying to get demonetized over there because you're showing the entire video. I'm doing still images, boys, over here.
It's Facebook. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Facebook. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so I'm just, that's why I might be going a little faster than your video might be going. That's fine. Just letting you know. Next up on the list, we have Kirby Star Allies, which is going to be available on March 16th.
That's one of the only new games. One of the few new games that was announced.
Yeah, one of the few new games that was announced, and one of the only games that, seems pretty cool. I do enjoy Kirby, but it's so cutesy that it puts me to sleep. Like I get sleepy. It's like a lullaby. I get tired when I'm watching it. But yeah, they showed off some of the new features in the game. You're going to be able to combine some of the power-ups. The classic power-ups to make new ones, so it seems pretty cool. 4-player game on the Switch, can't go wrong with that. Comes out on March 16th. Next we have the Hyrule Warriors re-release, definitive edition. That's going to be available this spring and is going to include all of the DLC as well as skins for Link and Zelda from the recent Zelda game, Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
So that's going to be coming out this spring. Next up, we have what I believe is the only thing that mattered during this entire thing, and that's Mario Tennis Aces, and that's coming out this spring as well. This actually seems really good. Like, I will play this game. I will purchase this game and I will play it. Number one, because Mario Tennis, back on the N64 was like that. I love me some Mario Tennis, and it has a story mode, so you can't go wrong with that. I mean, this seems like a legit effort from Nintendo, so I feel like this is something that I can get behind.
Yeah, tennis. I actually enjoy tennis games, believe it or not.
What was that tennis game made by Sega back in the day? Top Spin. That was my shit.
Yep.
I love Top Spin.
I did too. I'm a big tennis game fan. So Mario Tennis Aces is probably something I might get my hand take. I might get it. Probably put my hands on that one because I do like tennis games. It's odd. But they always say I've always all the way back to original Nintendo Tennis, just tennis for Nintendo with the Mario with the white suit. I've liked Mario Tennis. So, I mean, I've liked tennis games, I should say. So
tennis video games are super fun.
Yep.
And with the story mode, it seems like it's not just going to be the standard like versus and then online versus,
right?
Like they did with the previous sports game. Was that a tennis game as well?
They did have a tennis game on the Wii, I remember.
Yeah, on the Wii U. Wasn't that
I don't
came
know
out
about
What was that game that came out? I think it was a tennis game. Yeah, that was a Mario tennis game, and it was ass. It was bare bones. It didn't have a tournament mode. It didn't have no kind of story modes. It was butt.
Yeah, I don't. For the Wii U, I don't know. The last tennis game I remember, I had, like I said, Top Spin was on a 360, and I had the Wii tennis that we flung the thing around until our arms got tired. But
Ultra Smash, that's what it was called. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. It was ultra ass. That's what it was. All right, but yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Next thing we got is a Vice 8 coming out this summer. It's a JRPG, so if you like those, there you go. Next, we got we got DLC for Mario Odyssey, which adds in a couple of different game modes that you can play with other people online. The first one that they showed off was like a kind of like a balloon hide and seek type game where you can hide balloons for people to find inside of the different world maps, and you can also seek out balloons from other players and get like the high score for finding each balloon the fastest. And they have a leaderboard section and all that. So that's actually pretty cool. The other thing that they showed off was a couple of different costumes for Mario. They have they had like the magician suit. They had like a suit of armor. And then there was one more. I can't think of it. But those are going to be available.
Oh yeah, that's the night. You said
the night set, the magician set, and there was one more.
I don't remember.
I can't remember what it was, but yeah, you got new costumes coming out. We got another game mode coming out. Mario Odyssey, fantastic game. Everybody loves it.
The great thing about this is it's free.
Yeah, and it's free DLC. You can't be too mad at that.
No.
Next up, what we got? Oh God! All right, so this was very unexpected. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. Yeah, I'm not sure what to gather from this. It's basically all of the female characters from the SNK and King of Fighters games in a fighting game that you play with one button. Like you play, like literally during the description they say you play this game with one button, and the characters are shooting out hearts and rainbows and unicorns, and it's so cutesy. I don't know why it exists. This does not.
This is definitely a game that's geared towards the Japanese market. In my opinion. If it comes out in the States or North America or even Europe, I can't imagine it doing very well.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, God, it's already been hard enough, I believe, for SNK to compete in the fighting game arena. With everybody, with Capcom kind of like dominating it for the longest time, and with new people like Arc System Works ready to challenge that mantle. Right. This does not help. This is not going to sell well. The fighting game genre is already a low selling genre to begin with, right.
and it's becoming saturated with all of the games that have been coming out recently, and a lot of them are very good games. So
yeah. So this is a drop in the bucket, and it sucks because SNK has some really cool female characters that are going to be represented in this shitty game, in my opinion.
They need to just start licensing them to other IPs, other games.
Yeah. Well, they got Geese Howard for Tekken 7. That shit was awesome. Yeah. I think they should do more of that instead of this.
I agree.
Next up, we got Donkey Kong appearing as DLC in the Mario and Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Yeah. This is cool. Donkey Kong, longtime Nintendo character. It kind of makes sense the same way that Yoshi was included into it. Donkey Kong is in it. I haven't beaten Mario plus Rabbids. I put it down after like the third world. I'm not a super big strategy game type of guy, so I thought that this would be kind of like my gateway game into that genre. It didn't take. It's slow. It's boring. The music is good, but it's very lullaby-ish. So it's one of those games that unfortunately make me very sleepy.
Yeah, I played a lot of it. I think I'm on World 5 now. I'm not sure how many worlds are left. I think at some point, once I beat it, I might grab the DLCs. I still go and play, and I've gone back and I've played to get some of the secret stuff in some of the older maps and stuff like that. So I've been like meticulously going through that game.
Yeah.
When I don't have other stuff to do and I need to take a crap.
Hey, dude, you get your gaming in wherever you can, man. But yeah, so that's coming. That's coming really soon. I know they put a date on it, but I don't have it with me.
They just said spring.
Oh, spring. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean that's what I was looking for, like when it's coming out. So spring, you guys can get your hands on DK, which is pretty cool. I like that. Next up, we have some smaller indie games, I should say. FE. That's going to be available February 16th. So next month you can get your hands on that. And it seems pretty cool. It's a Nintendo eShop game, and it is a 3D like platform adventure game. It seems kind of cool, and I do like the artwork. So
this game has been out on Xbox and PlayStation for a while now. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's been out.
I have no idea. You might be right, but I think this is the first time that I've actually ever seen it. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It's out for PlayStation 4 and everything.
Yeah, it's been out. It's a.
No. It's coming out on everything at the same time.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. This is just the Switch ad for it. But yeah,
okay.
It's releasing everywhere on the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it seems pretty cool. I like the art style. Next up, we have another indie game. How do you pronounce this?
Which one we're looking at?
Celeste, something like that. I don't know. It's like
Celeste. Yeah,
Celeste. Okay,
Celeste.
Yeah. Stay in school, everybody. Stay in school. Celeste is another indie game, pixel style, and it's like an action platformer. This seems like something that I would like to play. I'm a huge fan of action platformers, 2D platformers, like pixel graphics, and this one looks really good. So this one's coming out on the 25th. The end of this month is looking very hairy for my wallet, dude. You got Dragon Ball, you got what's it called?
Monster
Hunter World coming out on the same freaking day, and then you have these smaller end games that actually look pretty cool. I'm gonna have to do some magic with my with my budget to see if I can get all these things. Let's move on to the next one. No, that's it. That was it. The last one.
We didn't talk about Donkey Kong.
Oh
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, so we had Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze coming out. The Wii U port for that will be available for everybody that hasn't played it on the Wii U. It is adding an additional character, additional Kong, from the classic Donkey Kong Country games. Funky Kong will be available, and this guy is basically easy mode. He doesn't die to spikes. He can float like Diddy, and he can roll like Donkey. So he's basically the easy mode of the game, essentially. Also, the last question mark is like, oh, we have one final thing to show you. Man, it was freaking Dark Souls. Dark Souls 1 remastered.
That's coming out on everything. It's coming out on Xbox, PlayStation, and this. If I'm not mistaken, isn't the remastered version on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 also being remastered for the Pro and Xbox One X?
Hold on, say that again.
The remastered Dark Souls is getting a 4K updates for the systems that can do it. Am I wrong with that?
I have no idea. This is the first time I'm ever hearing anything about a Dark Souls remastered. I don't know. I think the remastered version. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be a PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox One, and PC will offer up 4K resolution, 60 frames per second. Switch runs at 30 frames at 1080. So I mean, if you only have a Switch, get the Switch version. If you have anything else, get the other version.
Yeah, because it's going to be far superior.
Right. It's I understand that Nintendo's trying to get more stuff on there for a broader audience. I know Nintendo's been historically known as the child system, has all of the kiddie games. Everything is safe. No blood, no malice, none of that stuff. Famously, back in the day, they took the blood out of Mortal Kombat, replaced it with sweat. That's
yeah, I remember that.
That's been Nintendo's MO. It looks like they're trying to be more adult. I mean, even up until just the Wii and even the Wii U, they started moving more towards some of the more mature content, but it's just recent, and this seems like this is where they're going. They're going much more in on the Nintendo Switch. I just don't think the Nintendo Switch is powerful enough to run these type of games.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Especially when you have other systems out there that are cheaper at this point,
cheaper that do it and better. Are better at gaming. Yeah. Better consoles for a cheaper price. You get the better versions of the games. It's like why would you waste your Dark Souls remastered experience on the Switch? I don't know.
My what I'm seeing with the Switch is right now is a lot of remastered, a lot of re-releases, a lot of early this gen games and late last gen games that are being put on the Switch to fill out its library.
Yeah.
And that's either Nintendo believing that all those people everybody that's bought the Switch have never bought any other system, so they never played these games, or that's my only because
in the case of the Wii U re-releases, they're just trying to recoup that money that they lost. Making those games on a failed console. Because we've seen just about every high-end release from the Wii U re-released on the Switch.
Pretty much.
Mario Kart, Breath of the Wild, that was made simultaneously with the Wii U version.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned Mario Kart. Splatoon 2, got its sequel pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Donkey Kong. The only thing that we're really missing is Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers, yeah.
And they'll have the freaking holy trinity of Wii U games on the Switch.
Yeah, I know that a lot of the indie games have been propping up the Switch, and it's a great platform because it's portable. It's a great platform to play stuff like FE or Fee, because it's an action adventure platformer. It's not graphic intensive. It's something that's easy to play on the go. Doesn't necessarily need a network connection to play. That's great. But something like Dark Souls on the Wii, if you're gonna not the Wii, the Switch.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna want to play it on your TV. Which is scaled up 720p up to 1080p graphics. I just don't see this type of game as a Switch game. I'm sorry, I can't play them.
I don't know, man. The Nintendo fanboys are eating that shit up, though. Yeah, let's
go,
sheep,
man. The sheep being led to slaughter.
Yeah, I don't get it. The only thing, like I said, the only thing that came out of this that I enjoyed, I was genuinely hyped for, was the Mario Tennis Aces, Fee and Celeste or whatever. Those games look promising, but I don't know. That's about it. All I have to say about the Nintendo Direct. Let us know what you guys think on it. What were you excited about, if anything? Let us know down in the comments section below. With that, let's move into the next story. What we got? We're
gonna just do a roundup of interesting gaming news that came out of this year's CES.
Mm-hmm.
That just wrapped up this past week. And there's some cool stuff. There was a ton of cool stuff, a ton of interesting and weird stuff. CES is not a gaming convention. It is for electronic. It's an electronic show. The coolest thing I saw at CES, I didn't go, but I read in the news, was LG has a roll-up TV.
What now?
it comes in like a tube, it comes in like this rectangle, and you turn it and it rolls up out, and you turn it and it rolls back in. It's pretty sweet. And then Samsung had a modular TV. It's a LED TV that you can clip extra to make it bigger or smaller. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty crazy.
Those are two non-gaming things I saw that I thought were pretty amazing. But a couple of things. We're not big on VR. We've said our piece, but HTC Vive got an update. They got higher resolution screens in the HTC Vive. I think they call it the HTC Vive Pro. What's cool about it, unlike when PlayStation gave their update to their to the module for the PlayStation VR is backwards compatible. So you can actually buy the headset and plug it in with all of the rest of the HTC Vive equipment you have and get going. Another thing that came out was the HTC Vive wireless adapter. We all know that once you put on the headset, you got like a ton of wires hanging out of you. You look like one of those dudes in a sci-fi movie. But this one, it plugs onto the back of the Vive, and now you play wirelessly. So you have a little more freedom to move around with your headset without tripping over the cords.
Right.
I thought
you still look like you're on life support, but it's whatever.
I thought that was cool. Hyperkin, who's known for retro consoles, is working on planning to release a Game Boy Classic.
Game Boy Classic.
Yeah, it's going to be able to play with normal Game Boy, all the old Game Boy cartridges. It's aluminum body. It's form factor shape of the original classic Game Boy system.
I think the name that they're going with is like Ultra Game Boy or something like that.
Ultra Game Boy, something like that. Yep. NVIDIA released a 65-inch 4K big format gaming display. It's a 4K display. It works with the G-Sync. It's 4K, is HDR, has all of the cool catchphrases. But it is a high refresh rate monitor that's made for gaming. So for all you guys out there with those super rigs that need that high refresh rate, low latency, this guy is for you.
This shit's gonna be expensive because like the bigger the TVs get, the more stuff that you put into it, the more latency you should expect.
Right.
If you're not, shelling out a lot of money. But so I expect, because that's the research that I had to do when I got my TV. I had to look at like the refresh rate and how many frames would be dropped between my inputs and what's being seen on the TV.
Yep.
I have a LG TV. It's a 54 inch, and then my monitor is also LG, but this is like a gaming monitor, so it has like 0 to no latency. But this is like a small I don't know what size this is. Yeah. Small shit though. Yeah, basic size or whatever.
There were a ton of gaming monitors. I think, was it Asus? Asus has this crazy 34-inch curved monitor that's ultra wide. I think it was Asus. It might not have been Asus. I can't. Don't. That's quote
crazy.
Me on that.
Yeah, this is a 32 inch.
But that thing looked amazing, but it was super expensive again because it's 4K and it has all of the processing to allow for low latency, high brightness, and all that stuff. Yeah. A couple other things that showed up: the OG Xbox Duke is being released. I am 100% getting one of these bad boys.
Are you serious, man?
Even if I don't use, just the nostalgia factor. It's only gonna be $70, which is not outrageous.
That's not bad.
Yeah, $69.99. It has the OLED jewel, so when you press it, it shows the original Xbox startup screen.
That's dope.
But yeah, I want it.
Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth. I want it just because. Just nostalgia. I probably would never use it. I'll take it out and put it on the stand and put it up on my hutch.
Yeah. And I think they're going to put shoulder buttons on it too.
Yeah, there's shoulder buttons. Yes, they are adding shoulder buttons because there's no way that black and white button is usable these days.
No, they weren't usable back when they came out. It's like I was like, what? Why is these buttons all the way up here?
The black and white buttons were the equivalent of your
L and R or R1 and R2. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, there's that, and then something that also caught my eye that I'll probably put my hands on is this Hori PS4 controller. This called the Onyx. So they're releasing a PS4 controller that has basically the Xbox One footprint and the Xbox One thumbstick layout.
Yep.
It's Bluetooth. It has the touchpad. It doesn't have the LED light on the top. What does PlayStation call it? Whatever they call the little.
What's that light called on the controller again? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, but they don't have that, and apparently it may be missing headset ports. Headset and the speakers and headset ports. The images don't show it. The light bar.
There we go.
That's it.
Thank you.
So that's coming out January 15th in the UK. That's coming out tomorrow, actually, in the UK for sale. There's no details on a North American release, but if it does show up here, that's something, because that's my biggest complaint. One of the reasons I don't play my PlayStation as much is because the controllers to me are uncomfortable.
Yeah, Hori makes decent controllers. I have two Hori Fight Pad controllers for fighting games, one for PlayStation 4, one for Xbox One. So I can definitely get behind, these guys as far as the quality. So you're gonna get a quality product when you go with Hori. Um, it seems cool. It seems cool. I can see myself picking one up. That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea.
No,
But
no.
yeah.
And
What else we got?
the last story is out of Network Gear. Linksys is releasing a router, the WRT32XB. What it's going to do is prioritize Xbox One traffic.
Oh,
So
damn.
if you have this router on your network, if you're routing everything on your network through this router, if you're online playing your Xbox, that traffic is going to get priority. That's going to allow you to avoid latency, packet drops, packet loss, and stuff like that.
Net neutrality, boys. My bad.
It's really cool. It's $300 router. It's pretty spendy.
Yes.
I mean, I paid $300 for my router, but I have the mesh network ones, so it came with.
I don't even know.
It has one main one. Then you put another one, a satellite. It's like a signal. It comes with a signal booster.
A signal booster. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I end up moving, that's probably something that I'm going to do. But right now, I'm doing the basic boy one that you get from your service provider, paying monthly for it. I probably paid more than $300 for this shitty one.
No, it's $150. You got Verizon, right?
Yeah.
It's $150.
No, don't you pay for it every month?
Nope. You shouldn't be.
Oh well, that's what they do with Comcast. I just assume that's the same thing. You pay $10 a month for your gateway with Comcast.
Verizon has decided that it costs too much money to maintain that crap, so they just sell you the gear. So they sell you the router.
Yeah. Oh, I think that might be the case then. Yeah, Comcast, you was paying monthly for it, but they had to cover everything.
Yeah, they just.
I'll be calling them. Yeah, bring another one over here. Bring another one.
And that's exactly why. That's why Verizon got out of that business.
Okay, yeah, because the routers are freaking expensive, man.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'm going to say this because I'm a tinkerer and I know routers and networking. You can actually go into your router and do this right now yourself. You don't have to spend $300 to go do it. You can go in and prioritize whatever traffic you want to prioritize. Yeah. You can schedule it and so on and so forth. But as a plug-and-play device to make it easy for people that may not know how or want to mess with it, aren't comfortable messing with their router settings in such a manner, this is actually a pretty cool thing. They did note that they're working to expand this type of system. They're working to cover more devices, PCs, consoles. So maybe look for a PlayStation 4 version, look for a PC version, mobile devices. Look for ones that prioritize your cell phones, your tablets, or even TVs or all the way down to apps, because you can do that. You can go in and prioritize Netflix over everything else if you wanted to do that. But yeah, so it's cool. It's cool if that's something you want. And for you Xbox players that are pro, and you aren't going in changing settings on your router, go get one.
Yeah.
Because it not only works for your wireless signal, it also will work for any wire. So basically any traffic that's coming through that router that's tagged as Xbox traffic, whether it's wired or wireless, is going to get priority, and that's going to allow you to keep your pings low, low latency, little to no frame packet drops or packet loss unless there's network troubles. And if you're looking to get a leg up, especially if you're playing something competitive, first-person shooters, fighters, or something like that, it might be something you might want to look into.
Yeah. I've already prioritized mine for Xbox traffic. I had to do so back when we were playing For Honor. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So my shit is mine's still good.
Still didn't work.
Nope, still didn't work. So that was our CES roundup. Let us know what you guys think on this story or any of the stories that we talked about in between. Yeah, and just give us your thoughts on it. Let us know, do you agree with our opinions? Do you disagree? What were your favorite announcements, quote unquote, from the mini direct? Let us know. We love to engage in discussion with you guys in the comments section. But with that said, we can go ahead and move on to the next segment, which is This week in loot boxes. It's been a while. We haven't talked about loot boxes in this capacity for quite some time. It had been a really good year so far, you know. But like always, there's always something to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. There's two stories that we have here for this week in loot boxes. Boogie, I'll let you go ahead and take the first one, and I'll take the second.
Okay, so the first one is back to PUBG, the ever popular PUBG. Bluehole, or I think they're not call themselves Bluehole anymore. I think they're calling themselves like the PUBG company or something, or Bluehole or the PUBG company, whatever. But anyway, they have listed loot box odds on their website for their crates, and
they're low.
Yeah, they're super low. And if you're unfamiliar with PUBG, it does have a huge secondary market where people are selling things like a red bandana for thousands of real dollars. You can trade or items, and it's created a separate economy. And some of the items were showing up like drops of once every 10,000 crates. I mean, that's crazy. And on top of that, you're not able to get any more than 6 crates per week, whether you purchase or earn them. Well, you only can buy them with battle points. And the way it works is the price doubles every time you buy one, from 100 for the first one, 200 to the second one, 400 to the third one, so on and so forth. I actually don't have a problem with that. That helps keep people with deep pockets from just buying in the corner of the market, right?
That's true.
But the drop rates are just ridiculously low.
Yeah, somebody crunched the numbers and said that it would take about 80 human years to get all of the content available in PUBG as it stands right now.
Right, and on top of that, they have some boxes that are that you have to have a key to open, and the only way to get this key is to pay $2.50. So you have that as well.
Yeah. So, I don't know, dude. I cannot say that I am like a huge enough fan of PUBG to invest any more money than I already have. So this isn't a problem that I can,
Well, I don't even know if that secondary market is available on Xbox. Is it?
I have no idea. Yeah, because it's still in early access. Oh, I'm not even sure. But that's pretty bad, man. Like I think like most of the odds for these boxes are like 0.01%.
Yeah, and again, at the end of the day, this is all, especially for PUBG, it's all cosmetic. It doesn't really matter. It's only going to be the way you look. And to be quite honest, I jump out of the plane in my underwear and boots. So
you do.
This stuff doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. That was PUBG. Next we have something that doesn't necessarily involve loot boxes. We're going back a couple of years to where regular DLC was just, the bullshit story. Because we have just gotten word that Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which is the additional game coming from Arc Systems work, the same dudes that are behind the upcoming Dragon Ball Fighter Z, they're making a game. And it is a combination. It's a tag team cross. What's the word I'm looking for? Like cross roster battle between some of their other games. You have Blaze Blue. You have Guilty Gear. Some other game. I can't remember all of them, but it's basically a combination of the Arc System Works games, in addition to some anime characters from the anime Ruby. So one of the characters was announced, and they also set out or listed their plans for downloadable content. When the game releases, it's going to have 20 available characters, and as DLC, there's going to be 20 more characters. So half of the roster you're going to have to pay for. A lot of people are saying that they're not going to buy the game until like the Game of the Year edition comes out. Wait that year or wait that 6 months, because it seems kind of ridiculous that you would list half of the roster, or have them behind a paywall.
So that's the mistake they made.
Mhm.
So this is not much different than what Street Fighter is doing, right? Street Fighter 5. They released for what, 16 characters?
Mhm.
And all the rest of the characters were DLC via season passes or buying with fight money, right?
Correct.
So it's a similar type thing. The difference here is that they announced it early and let people jump in on it.
Yeah.
If they would have done like Mortal Kombat, even Mortal Kombat did the same thing. They announced their game and said, okay, there's going to be 2 DLCs with 3 characters each. So we released with like 18 characters, and then there's 6 more. 1/3 of the total amount of roster is coming up on a DLC season pass. And the way this is played out is the same thing, right? There's a DLC character and they have them in sets. It looks like they've got 6 sets.
Mhm.
So that's about 3 characters per set. It's no different than what's happening. It's just the fact that they announced their plans so far in advance. People are up in arms. If they would have just said, "Hey, look, we got 20 characters coming, and there's going to be 2 season packs, 2 DLC packs for the first year. That's going to add 6 more." People would have been okay. And then next year they announced, oh, okay, we got more season packs with 6 more characters. Is fine. Yeah. But the fact that they came out and said there's 20 characters coming out, and then we're going to add 20 new characters via DLC with no non real world money way of obtaining them. Right. I mean, at least in Street Fighter, you can earn the fighters without spending money. Right. I don't think any of the other games you can. Mortal Kombat, I know you can't.
Definitely not.
Injustice 2, you can't. So I mean, that's just the way the fight game are going these days. You know, you get a base roster and a bunch of DLC characters. It's Blaze Blue and Arcsoft Works. They shot themselves in the foot in a bid to be more transparent to the. What they're trying to do is good, right? It's like, this is what we have. This is what we're going to do. So you know up front. People still got upset about it.
I mean, because when you look at the big picture, you know, it's like 20 characters and then 20 behind the paywall, you know, and
right.
they have, you know, it's all planned out. They know the characters that they want to put in the game, you know,
right.
And a lot of the characters, especially the first DLC character, they released the trailer. You know, she's, you know, all but done. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So it's like it's kind of like what it's their transparency versus like their the perception of their intent from the consumer, you know, because right. It's like, oh well, 20 characters I have to pay for, that's half the roster. Why would I do that?
Right.
I'll wait.
That's the way people are looking at it. But if you look at the fact that as a game first coming out, it's releasing with 20 characters. Again, Street Fighter had 16. Mortal Kombat had like 18. I mean, that's a good number of characters.
It's the standard, you know,
right.
at the very least.
Right. That's a decent number of. That's a decent sized roster to release a game with. And if they were releasing a game with 8 characters and saying, okay, then we got 20 more, then there's a problem. But
right.
when they release it with 20 characters to start, I understand why people are upset. It's the optics. It's what they see.
It's
right?
It's
going to be 40 total
too much information,
and I got to pay half of them. And it's just what's it?
Arc System Works.
Arc System Works. I'm sorry. Arc System Works. They're bid to be transparent at this point. It just backfired.
Yeah, just transparency backfiring. The game launches May 31st. I've never really been a fan of the Arc System games. You know, one of the franchises that they have there that's going to be included is the Persona 4 Arena characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of content there, you know, with them including the Ruby characters, which is a show that I used to watch. I don't watch it anymore, but I mean, it seems cool. And I remember watching the teaser trailer during Evo, and you know, I was super hype. I'm like, yo, 2018 is going to be a great year for fighting games. But, you know, with the announcement that, you know, half the roster is going to be behind a paywall, that just sounds bad, you know?
Yeah. It doesn't look good.
It's perception, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to announce the characters incrementally in order to prevent this
right.
type of backlash.
This type of backlash, yeah. What they should have done is 20 characters, and there's going to be 2 DLCs within the first year that's going to add 6 more.
Yeah. They should have did it in packs of 2 or something like that. Because when you set out like, we have 6 volumes of characters coming out, you're gonna have to pay for every single one. Nobody wants to hear that.
Right, exactly. Because you feel like you're being nickel and dime.
You're being nickel and dime. Yeah, you're only getting half of the content.
Yep.
Even though a lot of this stuff won't even be out this year.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so it's just something that we wanted to bring up. Transparency and kill in some instances, because perception is reality, and people are going to run with what they feel is their true intent.
Right. It's a very thin line. Very thin line.
Right.
And even if you do it right, there's always going to be and this day of age, in this day and age of fall rage, there's always going to be somebody upset.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do, whether they never said anything and it came out down the road, whether they came out and said there's going to be 2 packs with 6 characters, or they did what they did. There's always going to be somebody that blows back, and because you can get on the internet, basically everybody has a blowhorn to scream to the masses,
right?
And people are going to pick it up. I mean, you got billions of people online. It only takes a few thousand people to make a story at this point.
Pretty much. So that was This Week in Loot Boxes. This is a part of the show where we kind of like highlight some of the like loot box themed stories that are going on, because this does not seem to be a story that is going to go away anytime soon. So instead of including it in our top 5 or even in our quick hits, we just created a segment for that. So let us know if there's any stories revolving around other games, because some of them we may miss. So if there's any loot box related stories that you would like to hear our opinions on, go ahead and submit them to us. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Let us know what you guys think. So next we can move on to our Q&A section, where we kind of just answer questions from the live chat. If you have a question, go ahead and post it now in the chat. And if you're watching this after the fact, you can go ahead and post it in the description, or not description, but in the comment section, or you can just use the hashtag AskAWGNS on our Twitter. And we monitor the hashtag. We will answer your guys' questions live during the stream. So we have a question here that was left over from last week. We didn't get a chance to answer it last week, so we're going to answer it now. This question comes from Garchomp over on Twitch. Boogie, do you have that up on your?
I do have the question. It says, will Spider-Man or Kingdom Hearts 3 be a nominee to win any awards this year?
Oh man, that's an easy question right there. I have no doubt that Kingdom Hearts is going to win some awards. I mean, this is a game that has been on everybody's mind for a long time. They what's it called? Announced it, way back when. We've gotten like countless re-releases, remakes, HD 5.9 HD, whatever. It's time for Kingdom Hearts 3. I feel like this is definitely going to be Game of the Year material. Huge fan base.
I think it's either going to be a hit or miss. I think if it hits, it's going to be a Game of the Year contender. If there's problems with it, if it misses, it's just going to be a huge disappointment.
Yeah, it's going to be another Andromeda situation.
Yeah, that's exactly a la Mass Effect. That's exactly what I was going to say. So it has if it hits, it's definitely going to be a Game of the Year contender. And for Spider-Man, I think I'm excited about Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. I've seen a little too many QuickTime events. I think it could be in the running if the QuickTime events were being shown as a theater for because it's easy to showcase QuickTime events when you're showcasing a game. It's a lot harder to do normal gameplay. The QuickTime events is more interesting and they're more impactful when you're demo or displaying your game. So I think if it's not going to be super heavy on the QuickTime events, if it's actually going to be a playable open world a la Red Dead or GTA or one of those type of games, it's going to be open world that way, and it's engaging. The story does look engaging. I mean, Insomniac is very good. I can't imagine this not also being a game of the year contender.
My opinion on Spider-Man is that while to me they've always been pretty stellar. I mean, I'm a Spider-Man fan. I've if there's any series that I make sure that I pick up that game, it's Sonic and it's Spider-Man. I play those two games. I've always played those two franchises. Game of the year contender? I don't know. Insomniac is definitely a high tier studio. It looks like they're taking it seriously, with the story being original, not tied to any kind of movie or any kind of comic book, so they don't have to worry about too much when it comes to source material. You don't have to worry about that comparison right there. But I feel like a lot that has been done with Spider-Man has already been done. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much that they can bring to the table. We have like the automatic parkour system that came out in the last couple of games. And you are right. There does seem to be a lot of quick time events in here, just to give like the cinematic effect. I feel like it's going to be a game that I enjoy personally. But just like any other superhero game, I don't see it like making a huge enough impact. I don't think it's going to be the Batman Arkham Asylum of Spider-Man games. I don't
Spider-Man games. Yeah.
I don't know if superhero games can have an impact like that again.
I think one thing that's going to be that's going to help with this Spider-Man game coming out is that it has a lot of momentum from the movies. Spider-Man Homecoming was a big movie. A lot of people liked it, and he's going to again be featured in
Avengers,
Avengers Infinity War coming up. So Spider-Man is going to be on people's minds, and that's going to help get the game into more people's hands. And like I said, if Insomniac stays true to themselves, it's going to be a great game. Yep. And the fact that a lot of people are going to have good feelings coming into it because of the movie appearances. And generally, Spider-Man has been one of the more popular superheroes for forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think if Insomniac can stay true to themselves like they have been, Spider-Man can be a Game of the Year contender. It just has to be a very good game, easy to pick up and engaging.
Yeah.
And Insomniac has been known to definitely make engaging games for sure.
Yeah, it definitely can't be your standard like 8-hour affair though. That's something that I'm gonna throw out there as well.
We need 20 hours at least.
Yeah, 20 hours at least. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait for it. We have one more question. Jesus Christ, from Yanni over on YouTube. He asked me, when are you going to play Dragon's Dogma or Shadow of War? Okay, I will answer this question. I've already played Dragon's Dogma. I played it on the previous generation. The Dark Arisen, I believe this is a re-release because Dark Arisen also came out on previous gen as well. So I didn't play that expansion, but I have played the original Dragon's Dogma. I just have a lot of games, man. There's a lot of games that I have not beaten. Jumping into another one right now does not, especially one that I've already played, does not seem to be in the cards. Shadow of War, that's a game that I really looked forward to, man. I wanted to play that, but it was just broiled in controversy with with the loot box system and, the fact that you have to purchase orcs and all that crap. And then the end game, not even the end game, but like before you actually get the credits, you have to go on this grind that supposedly like incentivizes microtransactions in order to speed up that process.
Right.
So because of those things, I kind of just, in addition to other games coming out that I wanted to play, I kind of just let that one, fall. But I do have those games in my possession, so I will try and get my hands on them soon. But it just doesn't seem to be a priority. What about you, Todd?
Well, Dragon's Dogma, I've heard about the game like a long time ago when it first came out. It came out like 13, 14? When did it come out?
Go ahead.
But I heard about it. I had a passing interest, but never got into it. Shadow of War, I was looking forward to. I still want to play it.
2012, geez.
Oh wow. I still want to play Shadow of War, but it's gonna have to show up on the somebody's ultimate sale for $30. For $30, I'll play, and I will not participate in the microtransactions. From my understanding, they kind of scaled back the microtransactions, but still, like I said, it just turned me off, just because of what they did. And I've said it before, for games doing things like that, Battlefront 2, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And it pains me not to have bought Battlefront 2, but I'm not going to buy it because of what EA has done. And it's the same thing with this game. If I'm running into a game that's abusing the loot box system or microtransactions, I'm not going to participate in that type of game. I'm sorry. We look at stuff like Overwatch. I play Overwatch or I play Destiny. The Destiny microtransaction came up after the fact. Nobody knew about this microtransaction. How much you waited how much you waited into the game until you started playing. Especially, it didn't really come to a head until this past holiday season with the Dawning event and how much was in there. Now, they promised to scale that back, but had I known prior to Destiny's release that this was going to be the thing that was going on with it, I probably wouldn't have bought it either.
Yeah, same here. After I had seen what was going on, seeing a lot of what people were complaining about, some differences between the new game and the previous one. I think the first thing that turned me off was the way that they changed up the skins or whatever. They were like one-time use items instead of something that you could change in and out or whatever.
That makes me mad because it's a non-issue because you get so many. The only issue with it is the event one. So there's the Iron Banner, there's the Rally Factions, and there's this last event, the Dawning event. Like the Dawning event, you won't be able to get those shaders again until they run the next Dawning event. The Faction Rally and the Iron Banner, you can get those shaders during those events, but they run those events once a month.
Right.
So once a month you're able to get the shaders, and they're like super common. You get like 3 to 5. Especially if you're doing the Iron Banner, you get 3 to 5 out of every engram you open. So that's a non-issue in my opinion. But some of the other stuff are huge issues.
Yeah.
When it came to the way they implemented their microtransactions. Yeah.
Right. We got one more question from Yanni over on YouTube, and he asks, "What do y'all think the best upcoming RPG is?" First, I have to look in RPGs and see which ones I'm looking for. For me at least, I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be one of the best RPGs that I play. But there are also some games that are slated to come out in 2018 that I probably want to get my hands on. I'm sticking with Square Enix and going with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Man, that thing. What? Seriously?
Yeah, no.
For someone that isn't a turn-based RPG type of guy, for them to recreate Final Fantasy VII in an ARPG fashion, that seems dope to me, man. I want to check it out, but ultimately Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be the one that I want to play the most of.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. What else?
Also Anthem, but I'm worried about that.
Is Anthem an RPG? Is that?
I guess you could consider Anthem an RPG.
Yeah, I would see that more like a loot and shoot game. I guess. Yeah. Anthem. Yeah, I'm concerned. I'm super concerned about Anthem. Kingdom Hearts 3. I can't think of any RPGs that are coming. I mean,
Monster Hunter World, Ni no Kuni 2.
No.
Darksiders 3, Code Vein.
Nope, none of those.
Yeah, it's I'm just looking at ones that are slated to come out this year.
The Cyberpunk game, but that's
looks interesting as hell.
That's not confirmed for this year.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that might not be shown.
Biomutant, we talked about that.
Oh yeah, Biomutant. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. Yeah, that looks really fun.
Shenmue 3, I know O's excited for that.
Yeah, Shenmue 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot. I'm gonna have to find the time. Yeah, there's quite a few, but I think the one that I am definitely going to get is Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm definitely gonna get that. Definitely
getting Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm gonna keep my eye on what EA is doing with microtransactions and Anthem before I make a decision on that. There's one other one. What's it? Biomutant. Definitely going to be getting that one. I guess Sea of Thieves.
I want to see more of it.
Right?
Oh yeah, Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, I've seen. The more I'm seeing more of it, I'm kind of interested. If they give me an open beta, I'll check it out. It might be something I might wind up getting. I wasn't super interested. I was more interested in Skull and Bones from Ubisoft.
Oh yeah, that looks dope too.
But if I see a little bit more of Sea of Thieves, and it's more interesting. If I can get my hands on it, really,
Yeah.
I might swing me.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that was our Q&A section. If you have a question for us that you would like us to answer during the Q&A or the weekly icebreaker, just hit us up on our social media, Twitter, Facebook. Leave comments down in the comments section anytime, or any question you would like us to answer that is gaming related or pop culture related. You can ask us, and we'll try and answer as many of them as we can. But with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. We're going to get into our long form discussion. And we talked a little bit about this. Oh shit! We talked a little bit about this earlier, and this is has to deal with remakes and remasters. We're getting a lot of re-releases coming up really soon, and some of these are slated as remasters. So we kind of want to talk about what is the difference between a remake and a remaster to you. Let us know what you think down in the comment section, but we're going to go ahead and jump into this right now. Boogie, I'll let you go first. Give us your interpretation of a remake and a remaster.
Okay, a remake is like the Kid Icarus, in my opinion, is like the Kid Icarus fan game, the Final Fantasy VII remake that's coming out. It's basically taking a game, an older game, and remaking it. New features, maybe new battle systems, maybe modernizing it to the current generation. Whereas a remaster is taking an older game and making it pretty, and
giving it a fresh coat of paint.
Giving a fresh coat of paint and throwing it out. That would be more like the Assassin's Creed Rogue that's coming out. The Dark Souls that's showing up on
remaster,
Switch, and that type of stuff. So I mean those are the biggest differences. Remakes you don't really see that much of. Remasters you see too many of.
Yeah, you also have to add. I feel like this, you have to include this one as well, like the re-release, because some of them really aren't really considered remakes or remasters. It's just like a port to the current generation.
Right. I mean, that's a ton. Switch is getting a ton of those.
Yeah.
And it seems like, again, this is a problem with the consolidation. When all of these big publishers, when Activision, EA, and Ubisoft, and all of these smaller studios got gobbled up by these bigger studios and forced to make infinite Call of Duties and Assassin's Creed and all working on Battlefield and few studios a ton of studios working on one IP. You don't have that many more new IPs, new games, new ideas that are coming out. So to continue generating revenue, they are just re-releasing older games that may have been fringe hits, may have been huge hits, but they're just re-releasing as something easy they can throw out quickly. Just upgrade the graphics a little bit, add the DLC, add some netcode to make it be able to work with the new network systems, the new networks, and off it goes for 40 to 50 to sometimes $60. I think it's lazy, to be quite honest. It's cheap, and again, I think it's just ultimately a money grab. And some of the games are I mean, when you look at it, I mean, you and I, we've been playing games for a while, but there's all types of people that are just now getting into gaming. Maybe they game for a while, because I went through this. There was a period of time where I think it was between PlayStation 2, right along the middle of PlayStation 2, right around the time the Xbox first came out, and the middle of Xbox 360, where I barely ever touched any games. I just was not into gaming. I was just busy doing other stuff. So, I mean, there was a huge gap of time there that I missed a lot of games. And for me to go, I'm not going to go back and get a PlayStation 2 or OG Xbox or even a 360 to play some of those early games. If those are remastered or remade, it's something I might, like, oh, this was interesting. I might try it. It's new to me, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, for the community, the gaming community as a whole, most of us are playing games. I've been playing games and continually play games for years and years, and we're just seeing the same game show up 2, 3, 4 times on the different systems. And
freaking Shadow of the Colossus, the hell out of here!
Yeah, I mean,
awesome game, but I believe that game fits in every single category that we brought up today.
Yeah, they
re-release, remake, and remaster. It fits in all three categories.
Yeah, it came out on PlayStation 2, came out on PlayStation 3, it came out on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
It'll come out on PlayStation 5, it'll come out on PlayStation 6. It's going to keep coming out. all the time.
I think the biggest thing that differentiates one from the other is that the remakes are usually made from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no like reuse assets or anything. It's built from the ground up.
Right.
So that's like one of the huge factors that, you know, comes into play. A lot of people will take an HD remaster, quote unquote, and, you know, but it's just upscaling.
Yeah,
you know?
they just upscaled the graphics. They added
upscaled the graphics, maybe included some better lighting or whatnot. But ultimately, it's the same game. It's the exact same game, just
from beginning to end. Yep.
Yeah, from beginning to end. And then you have things like the Crash Insane trilogy, which was built from the ground up, brand new engine. They had to try to emulate the feel of the previous games, mm-hmm. because it wasn't the same game anymore. Right. Something completely new. I think that's the biggest factor when you come when it comes down to that argument. Like, what's like a remake or remaster? What's the difference? Because you know, a lot of people will like Shadow of the Colossus, for instance. The PS3 version was an HD remake.
Mm-hmm.
They upscaled the graphics. But supposedly this PS4 version is being built from scratch. Is from the ground up. And I'm just like, but why?
Yeah. I mean, how many times do you need this game? And that's
a great game though, but like, damn.
But that's my point, is how many times do you need the same game? Make a new game for me. I mean, come on, Team Ico. Come on, Sony. You can make a new game. I'd love to
see another game from those guys.
Right.
I mean, I didn't play The Last Guardian, but...
Yeah, I mean, what, it came out in 2 years? The game was like almost 15 years old. I mean,
yeah, that's an old one.
We don't need to keep seeing the same old game. No matter how great it is. That's just like if you remade The Godfather every 3 years. I mean, give me a break. Great movie. But I don't need to see a remake every 3 years.
Yeah,
you know? So
I agree with that.
I just get tired of don't. When I look at remasters and remakes and remasters, the only time I really don't have a necessary trouble is what Nintendo is doing.
Yeah,
right?
Nintendo's killing me right now.
Yeah, what Nintendo's doing, well, not their first party stuff. I'm skipping their first party stuff because they're just ripping people off with that. They can go to HELL with that bull nonsense.
Full price.
Yeah, but
Wii U games.
what they're doing is they're getting, because the Wii U was horrible. Yep. Third parties didn't support it.
Nope.
And a lot of games that came out during that time on the Wii, on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, didn't touch the Wii U and Xbox One for that matter. So what they're doing is all those games they missed, they're bringing to their fans on the Switch. I'm okay with that because a lot of these things had never been on a Nintendo system, right? That's fine. Because one, it makes for a great library, especially when you're bringing some of these better games back, right?
Yeah.
As much as I derided them for bringing Dark Souls, nobody wants to play it on there. But
I don't think so.
There's going to be people that don't have an Xbox, don't have a
Skyrim.
PlayStation. They have a Switch, and that's all they have, and they're going to want to play those games. That's fine. I understand that. And it actually pads out their library, makes it a viable competitor for the other two. But when you're bringing me Mario Kart 8, that's a 3-year-old game, and charging me $60 with no additional stuff on it.
It did have some additional stuff, like 2 characters, no new tracks, but like new characters in battle mode. That was about it.
No new tracks, a half-ass battle mode, no new stuff.
Yeah, $60 for that. That was
right. So
that was bad.
When you do something like that, I think that's exploitative. And this is going to be my term in 2018. Hashtag it. And now I forgot.
Damn, lost it.
God damn, my old age. Consumer hostile. That's that consumer hostility.
Yeah, there we go.
Hashtag it. Consumer hostile.
Consumer hostile. That's Nintendo
right.
For you.
Yeah, Nintendo. I mean, they're not. I mean,
they just announced Tropical Freeze, another highly regarded Wii U game. It's adding one character,
and it's going to be $60.
It's going to be $60. It's going to be $60
because that's what they do.
Shoot, I think if you tried to buy Tropical Freeze right now, it's probably still like $40 on Wii U.
For the Wii U.
It's freaking crazy, man.
And what's funny is you can go to GameStop and get a Wii U for $25. I'm joking.
But I don't know how much Wii U's cost, but probably like $100 maybe.
No, I can't imagine it. Wii U for $100. Oh, actually,
Oh.
let's take a look. I want to see.
We have the technology.
Yeah, we do have the tech. I want to see how much a Wii U costs. Even
$80. $80.
$80? Okay.
Yeah.
I still won't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah. Yeah. For me, when it comes to remakes and remasters, I can always appreciate them bringing something back, especially if it's for, because sometimes you need it for a new generation. A lot of
Right.
people did not grow up with the original Crash games. I know I didn't. I didn't have a PlayStation. I was always envious of my friends that had the Crash series on their original PlayStation. So getting a chance to play those games in all of its brutal difficulty, in a current generation with current generation graphics is awesome.
Right.
But I think I'm getting pretty sick of the definitive editions of every single freaking, highly regarded game being re-released. I'm
Right.
getting a little sick of it. I mean, I was sick of it last gen. With games like, I guess at the beginning of this generation with games like The Last of Us 2 and stuff.
The Last of Us remastered, you mean?
Yeah, remastered.
Yeah.
The Last of Us remastered, and a lot of remastered games kind of padding out the PS4 library. But what Nintendo's doing is pretty damning because nobody ever. I don't think I've ever seen a re-release or definitive whatever release at full price. Man, it seems weird.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. At least when Sony is releasing these games, they're not releasing them at full price. I mean, I bought Last of Us remastered, but I got it for $30, $29.99.
$30, $40.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that. Yeah,
I had Last of Us on the PlayStation 3. I never finished. I got halfway through it, and I stopped playing my PlayStation because I got another Xbox.
Yeah.
but yeah, I just like I said, that's consumer hostility. Anytime I see somebody release a game, especially like it's a game pretty from last gen, they don't really do anything to it. They just release the same exact game
Vulcan Tournament
on updated
fighters,
format.
$60.
Yeah, it's absurd. And to be quite honest, I personally am tired of re-releases and remasters. I am completely tired of them.
I'm getting a little fatigued on them myself.
The only
definitive
ones,
that word is pissing me off.
Yeah, the only ones there's one that's coming out that I'm okay with, and that's Assassin's Creed Rogue, because when it was released, I didn't have a chance to play. By the time it was released, I had no 360. I was in the current gen, and I wasn't going back to go play it. So now it's coming out for me to be able to play it. I'm okay with that. But
it kind of makes sense timing wise. It's not like they it's not like they waited like a year or two and then brought it over. It's been a few years.
4 years. This is 2015, right?
Right. And this is going to be like the supplemental content in between Origin and the next
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. So it makes sense timing wise.
Right, which probably won't come out until next year. I think they've learned their lesson. They're not going to do it every year, Assassin's Creed. They'll do it every other year, which I'm okay with. I'm fine with that. And just the definitive edition. I miss the days.
Sick of it.
I miss the days of platinum hits. What happened to platinum hits? Why did we go from platinum hits to definitive edition?
I don't know, man.
What happened? Then went the opposite way. What's going on?
I have no idea. But let us know what you guys. Oh, did you have any more?
No.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys think on this topic. What is your main difference between a remake and a remaster? What do you think when you hear those words? Are you sick of them? Do you enjoy them? Let us know down in the comments section of wherever it is that you are consuming this media. We definitely appreciate your guys' input. With that said, we can go ahead and get into our last segment, which is going to be our final thoughts. And this is where we retrace our steps, revisit some of the stories from earlier in the show, and just give our little 2 cents on on these stories. I'll go first. As far as the updates and corrections that we had, with PUBG reaching 3 million, I mean that has to be some kind of record, man.
Fast.
And you have to think, like, how many of those copies of games were included with the Xbox One X. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah, because in December, right? They started selling Xbox One X with PUBG,
right.
free
So
PUBG. Yeah.
so it's just super interesting how much traction this game is getting. It's moving in a very fast pace. Really excited for Assassin's Creed Rogue. I definitely want to play that. It's one of the I think it's the only one that I have never played besides the original. I've never played the original. I started I started with 2, and I've played every single main title game and some spin-off games since then.
Yeah, I played the original and I hated it. I wasn't ever planning to play any new ones.
I didn't play it. I saw somebody play and it pissed me off. I was looking at this. I just remember looking at like the world or whatever, and then like, yo, this is a dream, man. Forget this game. I don't want to play that. Assassin's Creed Road. So excited about that. I'm glad that the charges were filed for the swatting incident. I really hope they stick. And I really hope he gets the maximum penalty. And I also hope that the other individual, because he's not complacent, you know, he definitely played his part, and I hope he sees justice as well for that family. Sea of Thieves closed beta. Hopefully I get my hands on it. I really hope that I do. I'll do a first impressions video on it if I can. The Kid Icarus remake, get it while it's hot. Because it's, the fact that we're talking about it, the fact that it's making headlines means that
Nintendo knows.
Nintendo knows. So be on the lookout for that cease and desist really soon. Tyler 1 making his return to League of Legends. I mean, I'm not in the league scene, so this doesn't really play any impact on me personally. But I really do feel like, with him being unbanned and seeing how much he's gained, from being embroiled in controversy, I feel like it sets a bad precedent. I really do not feel like that you should unban somebody once they've been banned. I feel like you have to stick to your guns in some case, and because this guy is definitely benefiting from being toxic, in all sense and purposes. As far as the Microsoft news, I don't know. The pro gamer score seems like a cool idea, but with everything that seems cool, there's also nefarious tactics that could be brewing behind the scenes. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how they roll that out. Twitch landed a 2-year deal with Overwatch League. Twitch must have some deep pockets, or Amazon.
It's Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon got deep pockets.
Yeah,
So
they just bought Whole Foods.
Yeah. So
the prices went down.
Hey. so yeah, that is to be expected with them landing the deal with Overwatch League. I feel like that was the safe option. Anything else would have forced them to be a little more politically correct, because you're on national TV. You can't be spamming tryhards and thinking that you're gonna get away with it. The matchmaking system from EA, like, these guys are never going to learn. It's going to take another Battlefront style incident. Like, they're going to have to lose way more money.
It's coming.
And yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. The mini direct Mario Tennis. That's the only thing that I'm excited for. And I really don't have anything to say about the CES roundup except for the OG Xbox controller, the Duke, getting remade is definitely pretty cool. So yeah, that's about all I have to say. Any final thoughts from you, Boogie?
Yeah, so I'm going down the list. The PUBG, like you said, that's I mean, the way the community is growing is ridiculous. And I think we even talked about this. They hit 3 million concurrent players on Steam back in December. So I mean, this thing is a steamrolling everything in its way. I know they had an issue with Fortnite and that ripoff, but. Ooh. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just right now it's unstoppable.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Rogue, I'm actually pretty excited about it, just because I would like to play the story from the other end, from the Templars' point of view. I like that idea. I thought that was a cool idea, and I'm excited to play that. Yeah, the swatting incident, the involuntary manslaughter charges, and all the other charges, that's what he deserves minimally. I hope they throw the book at him because he is a repeat offender. He has admitted to doing this again previously, and they just need to find his partner in crime, the other guy, because that guy is not free and clear because he's the one who gave the address.
Yeah.
He's just as culpable as I think this guy's name is Tyler Barris. He's just as culpable. Sea of Thieves, the closed beta, I'm seeing a little more of it. It looks pretty. I watched it actually on my beautiful 4K TV on the Xbox One X. I actually watched the video in 4K, and actually in 4K it looks really, really, really good. So I'm kind of, you know how much of a suck I am to pretty. So I'm a little more interested in it now. I didn't sign up for the closed beta because at the time I thought, yeah, I'm not interested. But once the open beta comes out, if I can get my hands on it, I may be in that game.
Nice.
Kid Icarus, I downloaded it. It's installed. I'm going to give it a try one of these days, see what it's like. I didn't like the original Kid Icarus, so I'm not too excited
I never
about this. The Notorious Tyler 1, I mean, like you said, he's benefiting for being an ass. The only reason I really reported on this is that he broke the current streamer record. 378,000 people watched his nut.
Crazy.
And I think that's, regardless of how it came about, I think that's still pretty impressive. The Microsoft News, the Pro Gamer Score, I'm interested to see what that is because that actually applies to me because I don't go out and play every game. I don't get arcade games to farm gamer score. I like to play games that I enjoy. And I tend to play those games a lot. So if I'm going to get rewarded for playing the games I enjoy a lot, I'm more all into that. The new features for the Xbox Insiders, the best feature is the game hubs in the guide. It's a lot easier to navigate and get through stuff as opposed to having to go 2 or 3 clicks to get into stuff. I like that. The Twitch landing a 2-year deal. That is, like you said, that's the most comfortable and likely place for it to be because Twitch is game streaming, right? I mean, these other guys really can't hold it. I mean, they're major networks that have deep pockets, but they can't hold the stick to Twitch and what they can do with game streaming.
Right.
EA, they're creeps. The Nintendo Direct, I'm just like you. The only thing I was really excited about was Mario Tennis. I have a little bit interest in the Donkey Kong Mario plus Rabbids DLC, but we'll see about that.
Right.
The CES roundup, I'm excited about the Duke. I want the Duke. I hope this Hori controller comes to North America because I want one of those. And we just talked about the NVIDIA, the 4K BFGDs, with a big format gaming displays. But I'm really interested. They had a lot of monitors. If you haven't, go somewhere. I would recommend The Verge, theverge.com. It's a tech blog. Go there, check out their CES roundup. Look at all of the monitors they have. There's a ton of them that are reasonably priced that if you're a gamer, especially if you have a high-end rig, you might want to take a look at. And that's all I have. I mean, PUBG, the loot box odds, whatever. And the Blaze Blue, they just gave too much information too soon.
Yeah, pretty much. Also want to thank everybody that submitted questions. Garchomp and Yanni, thank you guys for submitting questions to us for the Q&A section. We definitely appreciate that. But yeah, I think that is going to end it. If you're watching us live, definitely want to shout you guys out. Thanks to the live chat for hanging in there with us. We got a couple of follows, and we also got some bits over on Twitch, so thank you for that. I want to thank the Facebook chat for being active as well. You guys are awesome. If you want to listen to us, you want to take us on the go, you don't have time to sit down and watch the podcast, you can do so. Boogie, why don't you let them know exactly where they can do that?
We are in the general podcasting directory, so whatever podcatcher you use, just search us on Weekly Gaming News Show or AWGNS. If you are on iOS, we are in the iTunes store. We're in the Google Play Store. We are also in TuneIn Radio. Search us by our call letters or a Weekly Gaming News Show.
That is correct. And we are also on Twitter, a Weekly Gaming News Show. AW Gaming NS, and on Facebook, a Weekly Gaming News Show, or you can use the call letters AWGNS. We're also on YouTube. You can check us out. Todd does the weekly gaming news 10 and 10, which is a 10-minute or less snippet into the stories that we will be covering. Those usually go live on Saturdays. And a weekly gaming news show, the podcast, goes live on Sundays, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you missed us, you want to catch us live, you want to ask us some questions, make sure you do so. We broadcast on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Mixer. So, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, and remember, if you have questions, if you're riding in your car or you're at work listening and you have a question pop up in your mind, tweet it to us using the hashtag AskAWGNS. We do track those, and we will bring them up on the next show.
On the very next show. Yeah, we want to incorporate you guys more into the show. So ask us questions. As long as it's like pop culture related, we don't have any problems with it. But don't ask me what my favorite color is. I'm not going to answer. It's blue, by the way. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We want to thank you all once again for tuning in. We want to make this show better for you. So leave us your input. We take all of your considerations we take all of your suggestions into consideration. Let me get my English straight. And yeah. So anything that we can do to make this show better for you guys, we want to, at least attempt it. So I think that's enough rambling for now. We're going to go ahead and bounce up out of here. This has been a weekly gaming news show, episode 83. And we are your hosts with the most. My name is Trenell, a.k.a. True Sonic.
I'm Todd, can be found as Up Jump the Boogie.
I say what? I say up jump the boogie.
To the rhythm, the beat.
Yeah. And we will catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace out.